What's going on, everybody? My name is D-Rock. Today I'm in a cozy sweater because it just snowed and there's like a foot of snow on the ground, which for Fort Wayne is more than usual, I guess. Anyways, I just released a track today called Find You with the amazingly talented singer Haley Sorg, and I figured why not celebrate by breaking down the actual session file, showing you guys a few production tips and tricks and stuff like that. So yeah, let's dive right into it. If you're not familiar with this song, there will be a link down below. But to give you a quick idea, there's some stuff like this.
I can't lay here.
There are things like this.
You can't stay near me.
And some stuff like this.
One day I will find you. But one day I will find you.
So you kind of get the idea. Big chords, chill step type of vibe with some pop EDM vocals going over top of it. So let's break down this track. It opens up with some guitar work right here, which took me way too long to record. But yeah, I think I used my red Telecaster that's right over there. And then when the verse kicks in, an accompanying part comes in alongside of it. And then there's a piano that's just kind of outlining the overall chords that are going on. Drum-wise for this section, they're all getting low passed in except for these big action like war drums. So I've got like these kind of more trappish, I guess, drums that are going on. If we get rid of the low pass filter, you kind of future bassy things going on there. But those low pass in. At the same time, there are these kind of like, I think it's actually action drums or action strikes by Native Instruments. And when you combine them together, I think it's a great way to introduce the general rhythmic elements without giving it all away right up front. And obviously in this part is where the vocals come in. So vocals are one of my favorite things to mix and to produce because it's one of like the weirdest, trickiest things, and you can do some really wacky stuff with it. Throughout the overall course of this like first half of the song up to the first drop, the vocals build up. So it starts off with just one single vocal right here, a couple manual echoes. Then it comes in with a few harmonies. These harmonies they're hard panned left and right. And then right before this first turnaround, there's an added, believe it's an octave directly above it. So it's slowly building up the overall vocal layers over the course of that verse. Because personally, I like to have a song evolve with more energy over the course of the song. I want the energy flow to kind of like, I guess for you guys looking this way, it'd be like this. Get a little bit bigger, a little bit larger. Hence why we're starting off with one, then moving to three that are panned out, and then a full octave above it. Mixing the vocals wise, or mixing wise for the vocals, I did a fun thing where I actually use the sends like a good engineer within the SSL mixer. But then I sent them back rather than coming right back onto the SSL mixer. I had them come back to their own individual tracks. That way I could send them through my sidechain bus. And I could also do a few other more fun things, like I was automating the mutes on them, and then just control the level from like an actual fader. And with these, I've got a vocal verb and a vocal echo. The vocal echo, one thing that I'm a big fan of is modulating it. So actually, my vocal echo chain starts off with a de-esser because you want to get those S's out of the way, and that way, there isn't a that goes on forever. The echo device modulation going on with Serum Effects. It's just hyperdimension, and then from there it goes into this track, and then it's getting sent to the reverb as well. Putting reverb on your echoes will really help give them a sense of space and a sense of belonging rather than having these really dry, stale echoes that are happening in the background. Another thing that I did was I was ducking the echoes out of the way when the vocals are going on.
Hanging by a thread, and I don't know where I am going. Losing all my breath, 'cause I keep running from this moment.
So it allows you to like to douse them in that echo, but have it not get but have them not get clouded by it. So like when the vocal's singing, the echo is just ducking out of the way, and then the second that the vocal stops, the echo comes in and fills that blank space. At the same time, the overall vocal sitting out front of the overall mix because it's not getting sidechained when everything else is. So it's sitting on top there, but the reverb's still sitting back with everything else pumping and breathing. Yeah. One other cool thing I want to mention about the verses was this like Reese type bass. I love peanut butter mouth. Was this Reese type bass? I wanted to do kind of like a D&B roller type of thing. So let's see. I'm still soloed, I bet. There we go. And so what I did was I on Antidote, which is a phenomenal synth, by the way. I'd highly recommend picking it up if you are a Reason user. When the pitch bend goes up, there's an LFO that's automating the overall volume to give it this like wobble, shaky feel. And so I did it once with the pitch bend as well. I did it again with the mod wheel because the pitch bend goes up a fifth. The mod wheel does a full octave. I believe I used the mod wheel in the second build-up. So yeah, actually, let's go on to the build-up section now.
Now I'm on my own. I thought that we could keep this going. Cursed to be alone.
Pretty standard, like, pre-build-up, I guess. So, once again, vocals are building up over the course of it. Starts with just a single one. Starts building up with a harmony. Added, I think these are doubles up here. Echoes that are happening in to do like a call and response type of thing. Yeah, just build it up over the course of that. There is another guitar layer that ends up sneaking in there, which is just some palm muted stuff. Obviously, for this like pop electronic stuff, you got to have the little clock tick thing. That. Yeah, overall, it's a pretty standard build-up. Couple of risers here, downlifter. Yeah, then making sure that I muted the vocal echoes and stuff like that once the verse started. Because I didn't want those to hang over. I wanted it to be a pretty stark difference to once we go into the drop section. And speaking of the drop, let's go right into it. So, couple distinct things going on here. Probably the biggest one the two biggest ones would be the chord stack and the vocal chops. The chord stack, I used the same patch from my Bad Omens remix that I just titled Omen Saws, as well as a couple of other like vocal layers, just to give it a little bit more, that like vowel-y type of texture. A mid bass buzzy layer, doing that thing, and then a sub bass down here, which is just a sine wave. And those are just stacked together and side chained really, really hard. The vocal chops, I had a lot of fun with these vocal chops here.
One day I will find one day I will find.
So these vocals are actually me. These are from the the original demo version that I did, and I liked the chops that I came up with, and I didn't want to have to like redo them with Haley's voice. So I figured, you know what? Let's just do it with mine. And they sound something kind of like this.
No, because I've been waiting. If I'm ever fading, know that I'm holding out, hoping one day I will find you.
And I just kind of chop them up a bit randomly. I've got a Neptune on here set to F minor with the correction speed all the way up. That way it is staying in tune all the way. And this is something that I do all the time with vocal chops, especially if I just want to like chop something up, rearrange it super randomly, and then just see what comes out of it. I find that to be a lot of fun. Because you get like different ideas, and then especially once you start pitching them around, like you can see like it starts off with it's up 5 semitones, then 3, then back up to 5, then right on the original note. Like a Serum Effects, probably doing some distortion unison. Oh no, distortion. Okay, but yeah, OTT modulation, some distortion, EQ and reverb. Overall, pretty simple stuff. There's a fun little fill here. I like here.
One day I will find you.
Just wanted something just to break up that section with the little reverse kick going back in. And then for that super mini mid drop turnaround, I just bring the kind of the main hook, "One day I will find you," back in, and then have it separated out the word "you." That way I can completely verb it out entirely. So with these combined,
But one day I will find you.
and that one just verbs forever. That one in particular is going through the sidechain bus. That way that pumps and breathes with everything else. And then in the second half, there's only other thing that gets added is this little lead line to add a little bit of new movements, and the vocal chops go away. I'm gonna add in this riser right here, just to give it a bit more tension overall. When you take it away, it just gets rid of that kind of anticipation. And then going into this turnaround section here, once again, you've got the quick little vocal hook thing, verbing out.
But one day I will find you. Wanting to let go.
And then we're into the second verse. Second verse, a lot of the same stuff. This time, there's no low pass going in for the drums. There's also no war drums. They're muted right here. And then once again, those like harmonies building out the overall vocals over the course of that full verse. Just to keep the song evolving and growing a little bit. But kind of a lot of the same. We got the second build up here.
Find you. Now I'm on my own. I thought that we could keep this going. First to be.
So this one's a little bit darker, if you will, because rather than following the chord changes that I've been following the entire song, I decided just to hang on that 6 minor and just kind of ride that throughout the course of this build. I think that gives it a slightly meaner sound and gives it, and it can help build a different type of anticipation. So rather than like that uplifting excitement, you get a bit more. I guess urgency with it. So when you're hanging on that minor, especially when you're in this more melodic when you're in a more melodic genre, you can really hang on the minor and create a different mood for that section versus something if you're doing like something that's a bit more aggressive overall, like dubstep or trap. Then those things tend to hang on the minor the whole time. So you're already in that mindset. With this, you're able to kind of switch it up. So yeah, this build-up goes through.
I can't stay here. You can't stay near me. But one day I will find you. But one day I will find you.
With this one, I was able to end it with a full bar break before the drop kicks in. Just wanted a slightly different feel. So I think on the last one, I ended it with only half a bar. Yeah.
Find you.
So you only get the word "find you" versus here you get
One day I will find you.
kind of that full that full vocal phrase. Anyways, moving on. Drop, kind of the same thing. The biggest change would be right at the very top, rather than it going right into the big chord. There's just a bass drop, and then it comes in halfway through.
One day I will find you. One day I will find you. One day I will.
And then rhythmically, I'm doing like a boom ka, rather than the straight like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and rather than that super straight part for the first half. I've got it offset a little bit there. Then it goes back to straight once you're back in that second half there. And I think it helps drive the song forward a bit more. Then after that, we're into the outro and we're done. Bring that guitar line back in. A little extra piano line. And yeah, that's pretty much it. One other thing I do want to mention, this has been one of my favorite effects recently, is taking chimes and reversing them, and like using them as uplifters and downlifters. I think it's a really cool sound, and I think it lends itself very, very well to this kind of music, because it's kind of that sparkly, ambient type of thing. But yeah, that is the full track. Find You with Haley Sorg is out now. There's a link down below. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, drop a comment or shoot me a message on like SoundCloud or Instagram or something like that. And yeah, I will catch you next time.
Yeah.